Alright, basically in this one I'm just going to be talking about like what to look for in a shop. Like when you go to a shop, the outside of it might look trash, but you always want to go in, you know, because where I go to get my tattoos, the outside of it looks like a hole in the wall, and that's not the shop's fault, but like on the inside, the place is as clean as can be. Basically when you step inside, if it doesn't look clean, then it's probably not. So it's a good idea to turn around, but if you find a place that looks clean, you decide to get a piercing, and the piercer takes you back there to the room, and you see anything, like there's some trash on the floor, on the counter, a loose needle, some loose jewelry, any type of tool that's laying out, just get up and walk out, because none of that stuff is sanitized, the room's not sanitized, and there could be some type of airborne pathogen. You don't want to get something, you know, like strep or something. I mean, anything's possible in these places. But most shops are pretty good about keeping clean, so. But sometimes the place will be clean and the piercer won't. Like, if the piercer's going to do a piercing on you and he doesn't wash his hands and put on gloves, then walk out. If he doesn't wash his hands and does put on gloves, still walk out, because there was trace from his hands from touching the outside of the gloves. If he pulls out, you know, a needle that's not prepackaged, walk out. The same with jewelry. Most of the time they won't even reuse the same tools. Some places will, because some places use an autoclave, which completely destroys any type of bacteria, germs, whatever, and they repackage the tool. So sometimes you can let, you know, the whole thing with the tools slide, but never let them slide with not washing their hands, gloves, loose needles, loose jewelry. Also, like if you're going to get your lip or like your tongue pierced, then, you know, if they don't offer some form of mouth rinse or mouthwash, then get up and walk out, because they're supposed to do that because you might have just recently went and got something to eat or drink. You know, even water can carry infectious stuff in it. You never know. So they're always supposed to rinse and sanitize your mouth out before they do a piercing like that. Otherwise, you know, if it's an outside piercing, like, you know, your nose, septum, you know, cartilage, you know, stuff like that, you know, nipple, genitals, whatever you're getting pierced, they're supposed to clean around the piercing like a lot. Like the whole area is supposed to be sanitized. So these are just things to look out for. If a piercer doesn't do any of these things, or the shop just looks trashed, it's just a good idea to get up and walk out. You know, people, just keep this in mind when you go to a shop.